Hi, my name is Brianna, and welcome to my reaction commentary channel. Today we're going to be reacting to Season 3, Episode 10 of Hannibal. And y'all, including this episode, we only have 4 episodes left. I don't want to think about it, I don't want to talk about it, I'm in denial, and I'm actively lying to myself. So we're going to skip that part. We're going to detour over to my real life for a second, and I'm just going to say, everybody wear your seatbelts, because people out here on these roads are just making it up as they go along. I like to play Mario Kart just as much as the next person, but I would never do that on a real highway. People in these streets are literally tripping. And speaking of tripping, Alana, she's tripping because she's talking to Hannibal like she's not personally and intimately aware that he is a cannibal murderer who has an entire list of bodies. Somehow it seems like Alana forgot that. I mean, things that we are sure about Hannibal. He has great fashion sense. He's extremely funny and has great one-liners. He's a culinary genius. He likes Dante's Inferno. He's in love with Will Graham, and he can't stand rude people. So I don't know why Alana is playing games in his face. Speaking of faces, our new girl McLean, what's up girl? Welcome to the cast. She wanted to touch Francis's face. Francis, also known as the Tooth Fairy, also known as the Great Red Dragon, would be sweet and adorable, besides the fact that he likes to slaughter families once a month. Speaking of families, Will has one now with Molly and Walter, but Hannibal's not gonna let his ex-husband go that easily, so Molly girl, you're in danger. I'm just saying, I don't have a good feeling. But before I ramble too much, if you could like, subscribe, ring that bell for post notifications, follow me on all my social media, follow my Patreon for full-length reactions to Hannibal Season 2 and Hannibal Season 3 as we go, and that way we can skip the chit-chat and get straight to the good part. I kind of like Francis, if it wasn't for the murder, but I felt the same way about Gideon. Are we going back to Hannibal's office? I mean, I am not surprised that he is obsessed with Hannibal, because 1, everybody is, and 2, he was looking at Freddy's magazine with Will and Hannibal's faces. Oh, and he called him at the end of the last episode, which, Alana, security, are you even trying, girl?
Baltimore State Hospital.
Hello, my name is Byron Metcalf. I'm Hannibal Lecter's lawyer.
Hello.
Hello. As an avid fan, I wanted to tell you that I am delighted that you have taken an interest in me.
You should meet your idols.
What particular body you currently occupy is trivial.
What I am becoming.
Tell me, what are you becoming?
The Great Red Dragon. I've admired you for years, and I have a complete collection of your press notices.
They like to sling demeaning nicknames, don't they?
Tooth Fairy.
It was always a bad name. I do agree.
It would shame me if I didn't know that you have suffered the same distortions in the press.
Hannibal the Cannibal is like fitting and appropriate.
Your speech is bent and pruned by disabilities. Real and imagined, but your words are startling. See how magnificent you are.
There's a lot to unpack. Hannibal should never be your therapist. Francis, you look like a Pokemon. Sir, I understand childhood trauma, real and imagined. Disabilities, hard times, social awkwardness. You're overcoming a lot, but it's just the killing. Sweetie, we gotta get away from that. And Hannibal is not the therapist that's gonna help you get away from that.
I awoke in the fresh-smelling semi-dark.
Bedelia?
Day and evening again.
She's a legend. She's an icon.
He never called me my name. That was strange at first.
She is not letting this role go.
My name was Lydia Fell.
It never was. It never was. But girl, like, I'm not gonna judge you of that because, like, you've gone through so much.
Felt truths about myself as Bedelia de Maurier were smoke and mirrors of the highest order.
Will is so gonna call her out. I mean, probably not in front of people because Will's not rude, but like, girl, you can lie to everyone. You never were able to lie to Will.
Everything we remember is nothing more than a construct of the mind. The mouth of hell. My journey to damnation began when I was swallowed by the beast.
Girl, I understand taking a bad situation and making the most out of it, and also taking control of your own narrative. That's just not going to work on everybody.
Poor Dr. Du Maurier. Swallowed whole, suffering inside Hannibal Lecter's bowels for what must have felt like an eternity. You didn't lose yourself, Bedelia. You just crawled so far up his ass you couldn't be bothered.
Hello, Will.
I see both sides.
You're the bride of Frankenstein.
I like the bride of Chucky, but it's whatever.
How'd you manage to walk away unscarred? Covered in scars.
I mean, you are sweet.
I wasn't myself. You were. Even when you weren't, you were.
I wasn't wearing adequate armor.
No. You were naked. Have you been to see him?
Absolutely. Yeah. He can't stay away. They love each other.
Yes.
You haven't learned your lesson, have you?
No one has. Not Jack, not Alana.
Have you been to see him?
No.
I've seen enough of him.
I have to sometimes, most of the time.
I was with him behind the veil. You were always on the other side.
Yes and no. Oh, Francis is crazy psycho van. I mean, it is just playing into the stereotype of mass murder, right?
We're at the zoo. Why are we at the zoo? It's cold for the zoo.
Did you ever see a tiger?
No.
If you want, you can touch him.
How did we get here? I mean, as far as dates go, kind of cool. But also, just like everybody else in 2020, I saw Tiger King. I'm not dealing with it.
How do I know he's sound asleep?
Tickle him.
Take your time.
I feel like there are policies and procedures already in place where this shouldn't be cool, but I'm leery.
He's striking. The orange is so bright. It's almost bleeding into the air around him.
We turn the saturation all the way up. Yes, visuals.
I'm right here with you.
Their relationship could be adorable. It's not gonna end well. I don't know what's more scary, the unconscious tiger, or Francis who actively turns into a Pokemon who likes to kill people. All of our options are bad, and I just want Will and Hannibal to be together. Is this a metaphor that you're very loving, tender, and caring, and that you're willing to get closer to danger than a lot of other people are? Oh, but Francis is providing her with experiences that she would not have had if they never met. I feel like we're going up to come down, and my heart is going to be crushed.
That tiger? This house? You're full of surprises, Dee. I don't think anyone at Gateway knows you at all.
Did you ask him?
No. They find you very mysterious.
Well, girl, yeah. I mean, he has secrets in the closet. And by closet, I mean the attic.
Tell you how I look.
I didn't ask them. But yes, they told me. Do you want to hear it? Don't ask if you don't.
I like McLean's communication skills. And the physical acting from Francis.
They say you're very sensitive about your face. Do you want to know what I think?
McLean is bold, and I like her. McLean is bold, and I like her. But I'm just gonna say it again. We had a sex scene between these two. We got a sex scene between Lana and Margot. Let's see. We had Alana and Hannibal. We had Will and Margot. I'm still waiting until we get Hannibal and Will. I'm just saying that I've served my time as a loyal viewer, and I feel like promises were made and not kept. Also, I really don't know what I'm supposed to say during this commentary while these two are banging it out. And also that we both know that Hannibal and Will are into bondage. Is there a chance that, like, McLean and Francis are, like, into the fact that he might turn into a dragon and she might turn into a golden goddess? Either way, you look good. Like, I'm currently not afraid that he's going to hurt McLean because he genuinely cares for her right now. Circumstances might change in the future, and that's what I'm worried about.
Good morning. I really had a terrific time, Dee.
Me too.
But I need to go home now.
Yeah, girl, you should probably go. Because he's a ticking time bomb. A what? A ticking time bomb. I don't even know what I just said.
Go behind your work table. If you approach the barrier before you hear the lock snap, I'll mace you in the face. Understand?
I like her. She just got here. And I like her. Be nice to her. Don't kill her. I like her. She's about her business. She's about her job.
Are you ready for your call?
Yes, please.
See, Hannibal should never have enough privacy to even do this. I'm not even mad at him. He should, like, shirk the system. I'm on his side right now.
Operator.
Operator, I don't have the use of my hands. Could you please ring 667 JL50102?
He's smart and he gets the job done.
Thank you. This is Bob Dreer at Blaine and Edwards Publishing. Dr. Chilton asked me to send a copy of his book to someone, and Linda was supposed to give me the address and phone number, but she never did. I'll dance at your wedding if you read it to me.
Oh, he's just so nice and charming.
Graham. Well, Graham.
Well, this is not good. This is never good. This is not what we want.
Have you had any contact with him?
He sends me greeting cards on Christian holidays and my birthday. He always includes a recipe.
That's funny.
If he does end up eating you, Bedelia, you'd have it coming.
I don't know that I would say that yet, but I feel like Will knows more about Bedelia than I do.
Murder and cannibalism are morally acceptable.
They are acceptable to murderers and cannibals. And you.
Cannibal compliant.
You lied, Bedelia.
A lot of people did,
You do that a lot.
apparently.
Why do you do that a lot?
I obfuscate.
She
Hannibal
dances.
was never not my patient. Covert because I was a cooperative psychiatrist. Do no harm.
And did you?
I did,
Bedelia, girl, what you got really going on?
technically. Not the first time I've lost professional objectivity in a matter where Hannibal is concerned.
Spock?
What did he tell you?
What do you think he told me?
I think he told you that I'm paranoid.
Are you?
Yes, but that's not to suggest I don't have good reason to be.
You don't trust Dr. Lecter?
No, there's something wrong with Dr. Lecter.
Finally, a person with sense.
I went to him mildly depressed, had trouble sleeping. I ended up wildly depressed, not sleeping at all.
I mean, he's great at what he does.
You believe your condition worsened under Dr. Lecter's care?
It's the only thing that can happen, is that the patient gets worse.
He told me to eat more red meat and wrote a prescription.
And have you been taking the medication he prescribed?
Hell no.
He's got sense.
He wanted to administer phototherapy to advance my circadian rhythms, help me sleep. But it wasn't phototherapy. He stuck me in front of a light, and I woke up somewhere else.
He did it to Will. He did it to Miriam.
A seizure response to phototherapy.
No, he did something to me.
He likes to induce seizures. He did it to Will.
Experienced a traumatic event that you now associate with Dr. Lecter.
But Delia, why are you defending Lecter?
All that time you were with Hannibal. Behind the veil. You'd already killed one patient. Did it ever occur to you to kill another?
My relationship with Hannibal is not as passionate as yours.
Are you sure? Because you've gone a long way.
You're visiting an old flame. Is your wife aware of how intimately you and Hannibal know each other?
Probably not, no. No.
She's aware enough.
Enough.
You couldn't save Hannibal. Your experience of Hannibal's attention is so profoundly harmful, yet so irresistible. It undermines your ability to think rationally.
Okay, Bedelia, you're sounding a little bit more sinister. Exactly. You're lining up with, like, your past and your present. Bedelia, I knew you were morally gray. I didn't know you were this morally gray, girl.
I am not firmly convinced it would be in your best interest.
I'm not firmly convinced you give a rat's ass about my best interests.
She doesn't. She cares about Hannibal. That's where her priority is.
Do you believe me?
I believe you are experiencing a lack of insight.
Are you serious right now? You know what? I second what Will says. Bedelia, girl, if you get eaten a little bit, you probably deserve it. Because this is BS. This is crazy.
And what medication would
Ma'am,
you prescribe, Dr. DeMore?
I was on your side. I feel betrayed.
I would prescribe exactly the medication Dr. Lecter prescribed and you refused.
You know, whatever this is this is why Scientologists hate psychiatry.
Wait, hold on, wait. We already were in left field, and then we took another left turn, sir. I don't know that one is equivalent to the other.
You're just as twisted as he is.
I mean, a little bit. He likes to keep this kind of company.
You're walking down the street and you see a wounded bird in the grass. What's your first thought?
Why am I walking down the street? Why am I outside? Am I by myself? The
My
parallels,
first
though.
thought is also that it's vulnerable. And yet, I want to crush it.
Okay, one, you're weird. But two, am I weird? Because I don't even think about the bird. I got other questions.
Of course, I wouldn't crush it. But my first thought is to do just that.
Bedelia, ma'am, I feel bamboozled.
Neil, sit down.
No.
Neil, just leave.
And weirder.
It is a little culty. It's a little weird. He's the dude that choked on his tongue, isn't he? The pieces are coming together, finally. Sir, I can't help you. Oh, damn. The furniture again.
I need help. I'm trying to clear your airway.
Girl, at this point, just let me die. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Oh, ugh, yeah. Just, okay. Oh, you know what? You know what? What the fuck?
The thing I learned from Hannibal is the alchemy of lies and truths. That's how he convinced you you're a killer.
You're not convinced.
You're not a killer. You are capable of righteous violence because you are compassionate.
Either way, we still end up with more dead bodies.
Extreme acts of cruelty require a high level of empathy. The next time you have an instinct to help someone, you might consider crushing them instead.
Is everybody the worst therapist in the world on this show? Is that the point? Bedelia, I was on your side through so much.
It was done carefully and cleanly with a very sharp knife. It was not the work of a child.
No. But it looks like a penis. My boys are back together.
Appears on a mahjong tile. Marks the red dragon.
Will, you're
And
putting the pieces
behold,
together.
a great red dragon. Are you familiar with William Blake's The Great Red Dragon and the Woman Clothed in Sun? Few images in Western art radiate such a unique and nightmarish charge of demonic sexuality.
I mean, isn't that your favorite subject? Like demonic sexuality? That's what all 3 seasons of the show has boiled down to.
I have to believe there is a common factor. And we will find it. Soon.
Soon enough.
11 days to the next full moon. Tick tock. I like this dragon, Will. I don't think he's crazy at all.
You wouldn't. You wouldn't.
I think he might be quite sane.
The opposite, but for you, it's all the same.
A magnificent thing. To watch the world through his red haze.
I mean, he cleans up well. Francis, what are you up to now, sir?
Mr. Crane, I'm Paula Harper.
You called about the Blake watercolor? Come with me, I'll show it to you. We have to keep it in this box because light will fade it. You understand you're not allowed to touch it. I'll display it for you. That's the rule, okay?
Girl, he does not go by rules. He does not give a damn.
It appears he used chalk as well as...
I mean, she was annoying. She was getting on my nerves. Ma'am, just be glad that he didn't, like, kill you and eat you. So just be over here for a second and let him do whatever weird, creepy thing he's about to do to this watercolor. Remember when Hannibal was talking about demonic sexuality? There's a vibe. All right, show. You know how I feel about caressing things slowly in this show. See, that's what Nate did to those pictures of Jules. Oh. You know what? As far as weird things go, this isn't that bad. This is fine. He can eat it. I don't care.
Graham, you know, you're the second person who's asked to see the Blake today.
Let that click in your head, because not everybody just wants to see this piece of paper. Okay, Francis. All right. Will, be on your P's and Q's.
Paula, I have another visitor for the Great Red Dragon.
Spidey sense, Will. Be afraid. Where's your gun? You have it, right? Please have it. That's the guy, and you know it's the guy, because it's about vibes. Get a good look at his face, and remember everything. Jeez, don't touch my baby. God damn. Well, Will, you gotta get your weight up. And also, he's made out of muscle. But you hurt my Will. Francis, you gotta die. Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. Will, he's gone. And that's the end of the episode. I'm stressed. I'm worried about my sweet baby boy, Will. Alright, and that concludes Season 3, Episode 10 of Hannibal. And y'all, I like this episode. It was just enough suspense and tension and like storytelling to keep me interested without me having a panic attack. But just because this show was a breather does not mean that it was not entertaining, because we got a lot of story development, mostly about Bedelia. Hey girl, let's have a conversation. I like you. I still like you. I don't trust you as much as I did before. And that's probably saying something about me, because I probably never should have put my trust in you to begin with. I guess I can trust you to get out of a situation. I can trust you to take charge of your own narrative, even if that means making up a story and casting yourself as a hapless victim of circumstance. When, co-conspirator, accomplice, no matter the fact that you were like a reluctant one, you still were one, much like Abigail. And a lot of people in the show like to blame Hannibal for being a bad guy who does bad things and murders. Okay, but consistently we also see that he tells the truth a lot more often than a lot of other people in the show. And I should have taken the advice that I give to all the other characters, which is listen to Will, believe Will, do what Will says. So Will has been harsh on Bedelia several times, like more harsh than I would be, even back in Italy, but he had a reason. And there was a backstory to it, and I just had to chill out and let the story unfold and tell me the truth about Bedelia, ma'am. This whole time, I just thought that the patient that was in Bedelia's care, that she ended up sticking her entire forearm down his throat, which is just as disturbing as when Hannibal inserted his hand down Will's esophagus to place Abigail's decapitated ear into. This show is wild. I've seen some things. But no, the homie, Bedelia's patient, was a lot like Franklin and got to see behind the veil just a little bit, enough to be like, Hannibal's off his rocker, and I feel worse now that I'm in therapy than I ever did before therapy. I'm not sleeping, and for some strange reason, Hannibal keeps telling me that I'll feel better emotionally if I just murder other people. He goes to Bedelia for help, but he didn't know that Bedelia's loyalties were already tied up in Hannibal. And she was like, oh, sir, this is very unfortunate, but I'm rocking with Hannibal. And whatever he said, I'm gonna double down on it. And I'm gonna gaslight you and manipulate you into thinking that you're the crazy one. We can't win. At this point, no one can win. And everybody is morally gray, and always have been. Jack, Alana, Chilton, Freddy, Bedelia, Abigail, and the OTP themselves, Will and Hannibal. None of them are innocent in all of this. The only people in the cast that are literal angels continue to be Zeller, Price, and my girl R.I.P. Beverly. forever and always in my heart. And the thing is, I'm cool with all of the morally great characters. I'm still cool with most of the characters on the cast. Just don't lie to me. At least Hannibal was like, oh no, I'm terrible and awful, but hi, I'm going to be in your face and direct about it. Everybody else thinks that they're a good person and portrays themselves as a good person, but pull back some of the layers and it's like, oh no. Y'all are also terrible. You're awful. And maybe Hannibal ruining your life isn't all just Hannibal. It might also be your karma that you got along the way. Once again, the show did a great job showing the parallels between the therapy sessions between Bedelia and her ex-patient and Bedelia and Will in present time. Also the difference between Bedelia and Will and Hannibal and Will's interactions. And at least Hannibal was honest with Will and was like, oh, this dragon guy, Mr. Red Dragon, I like him. And if anything, I'm just sad because it still feels like Will is doing all of this work by himself. Will deserves a team, he deserves a family, he deserves free healthcare for the rest of his entire life. And every episode where he's suffering, I'm suffering. Even though he did kind of get manhandled by Francis a little bit, but besides that, he's on the right track. I'm excited to see what happens next. We have 3 more episodes in the entire series. I might cry, but not today. So I want to thank you for being here and watching this with me. And please, on your way out, if you like, subscribe, ring that bell for post notifications, follow me on all my social media, follow my Patreon for full-length reactions to Hannibal Season 2 and Hannibal Season 3 as we go. And that way I can see you next time with another one. Bye, y'all.